the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started.
And we are underway here in Los Angeles.
Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Throwing to start here is Tua.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Jalen Waddle, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10
at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
It's taken in by Quentin Johnston.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. To the air again, Herbert. Forced out to his left. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Dolphins will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to take over here up near the 40. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
21G.
Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 41. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and a yard. Play action. It's Herbert. He'll buy some time right. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 30 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Sanders on for the extra point.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Herbert. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Herbert now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And some room to work. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6.
Here's Herbert.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Looking to pass. Tua. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of the approach. You're going to hit it, sometimes panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations? In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl quarterback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will make this a 19-point game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And so far, in terms of putting points on the scoreboard, it's been defense 2, offense nothing. But they'll have a chance to put together a first scoring drive this go-around. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Herbert.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Again, Herbert. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Now Herbert going to shift his guys around.
On 2nd and goal, Herbert escaping the pressure right. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6.